Welcome back to He Met Me in the Middle. I'm Breanne Sims, RN and co-founder of Kingdom Fasting.
And I'm Sheri Johnson, certified functional nutrition and lifestyle practitioner, and I own Empowered Health Coaching.
And we have a very special episode for everyone today. We have a reunion episode. We're all back in the same place at the same time on the internet together.
Yes.
And so we're going to hear from Leigh Ann and Julie and just have a fun chat and see where everybody is at. And so we're just inviting you into our conversation today. So welcome.
Yeah,
Welcome back.
Yeah, and for those that maybe just started watching us, that 4 of us used to podcast all together for many years. What's really wild about all of that is God brought us all together every week faithfully, and you're all in different time zones. And we have been the whole time. So we have all of them represented, Eastern, all the way to the Pacific right now. That's what's so special about this. And we're not sure, but we think it's been about a year, I think, since we last were all together, which is crazy.
Time moves too fast.
It really does.
I know.
It
does.
So in that short but not so long time, tell us about what's been going on with you guys. What's new and exciting?
Leigh Ann, I gotta hear about what's going on. I gotta hear. I was so excited.
Before we moved back to California in 2024, and I left the podcast in 2025 because we were just in a really bad financial situation and decided that it was time to pursue work. In November of 2025, our landlord here in California decided that they wanted to take our house back that we were in, and we were struggling so bad financially anyway that we didn't know what we were going to do. They offered us a solution going to work, and we were on our knees. It was ironic because we had been on our knees and I was in tears and I was just saying to the Lord, I quit. I don't want to do this anymore. I give it all over to you. Finally, a full surrender. And within a week of us saying that prayer, and I'm just sobbing, the landlord tells us that they're going to take the house back. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? And our credit had gotten really bad because we were behind on bills. It was just a mess. It was a hot mess. And we had friends that lived in an apartment complex here, and we applied for an apartment the night we found out that we were getting booted. And our landlord broke all the laws, all the laws. And the night we found out we were getting booted from our place, we applied for an apartment here. We found out that the parent company of the apartment complex doesn't check credit. Or they do check credit. I'm sorry, they don't verify income. So because we didn't have verifiable income when we applied for this role. I was working part-time, but I was making such little money. And Tyler had been looking for a job for so long. So long story short, we applied for this apartment and we knew that the credit was probably going to come back bad. We were already prepared to ask my in-laws to co-sign for us. And our credit came back super high. Only the Lord would have done that. Only the Lord would have done that. And so we ended up moving into an apartment that's less than a 2-mile drive to our church. And I was starting to get more and more involved at the church, and I'm still working for the Pregnancy Resource Center now. But the landlord, her husband, felt so guilty for what his wife had done to us, because he didn't realize what was happening until after it had already happened. And so he hired Tyler to help him pack up their house, and he was paying them $30 an hour to help him pack up their house. And so Tyler's over there helping them, and then they had a neighbor who needed some IT help in their house with a computer situation. He went in and helped the neighbor, and within a few short weeks they had decided that they loved him so much they hired him to work for their company, paying him an exorbitant amount of money. And so he got that job, and that was in December of last year. And so he was making enough that we could afford the rent for a room that he didn't. I was still bringing a little bit of money. And then in January, we found out that the coffee shop at our church was getting ready to open up, and I wanted to work at the coffee shop. I thought it was going to be a volunteer position, but come to find out they were actually hiring people to work there. So we didn't officially open until I think, but they hired me in February. And so I'd work at our coffee shop at church in the mornings now before I go to PRC, not every day, but a few days a week. And then Tyler got hired by a Christian company. It's a Christian nonprofit that writes Bible curriculums for Christian schools. And so he works for them full time and this other company part time. And I'm working part time for the coffee shop and for a pregnancy resource center. But the pregnancy resource center has given me a lot more responsibility. So I'm working between 20 and 30 hours a week for them now. Plus, I'm still doing tallow, which isn't going as it's still a little bit of money every month, but it's certainly not bill money. And then I started a home bakery because I was baking all the time for a pregnancy resource center. And the ladies kept saying, I want to buy these from you. And I was like, and so now I have this little home bakery that's just blowing it.
Hey.
Yeah, the Lord provides when we surrender. And that is the moral to that story. We are very busy. Tyler and I don't see near as much of each other as we used to. But he'll come into the coffee shop with me in the mornings. I get there at 6 and he'll come in and work with me in the mornings. And the Lord has just really shown up. Our senior pastor, for the first time in his entire career, is offering a discipleship program at our church this summer. And so Tyler's doing that. And we're really, him coming in to work with me at the coffee shop, the staff there are getting to know him too. And so we're really becoming very enmeshed in our church community. And it's really neat because when we go out in public, we see people that we know from church and we just feel like we have such a great community and a family here. So we didn't know what we were going to do. We didn't know if we were going to be able to stay in San Clemente, but the Lord knew that this is where we were supposed to be. And he just showed up big. He just keeps showing up big. And yeah, so my faith has been so stretched. Oh, I also got invited into women's leadership at our church. So I was a Bible study assistant leader at the Bible study last year, and I got to be an assistant leader to the pastor's mother, who has been saved since she was 5.5 years old. You want to talk about a testimony? To me, that's a testimony to get saved when you're 5.5 and never slide. Come on. That's probably your story too, Breanne.
Amazing.
That's what's going on with us. There's probably a lot more I could say, but I don't want to take up the full podcast time. Julie, what's going on with you?
A crazy adventure. I think I left not long, maybe a month after you did, Leigh Ann, not too much longer. And it was obvious, I think, that the Lord was just like, you have too much on your plate and you can't do anything trying to do everything. So not too many months later, I think I was just to the point where I was tired of seeing the same things and doing the same thing and really trying to figure out where I belonged as far as just being busy, because I think that's how I became, was busy rather than intentional. So just going through the motions. And I felt like it was time to just kind of ground myself and really come back to who I was in a way that would make me feel good to wake up every morning. And at the same time, my mom came back into my life. I don't know if too many people know about that, but in March of last year, of 2025, my mom got really sick with kidney disease and crashed on dialysis. And so I've spent the last year taking care of her, which I did not have a relationship with my mother growing up. And so it's been quite the prayer answered after seems like 51 years of praying. Let me know my mom. Let me just even to be able to dream of what it would be like to have a mom in your life. And during that time, we decided that we would leave the beach and move across the bridge into another town. And so we set on a adventure to find a house and quickly found something. And I just felt like that this is right where I needed to be. And so we packed up everything from our home other than like the furniture and things that I thought that I didn't need anymore. We left it in this house. Only the things that we thought we needed, we took with us to the other house. And we were there about 6 months while I was trying to get my mom in, because I thought I could move my mom in with us. And we got chickens and just saw a new side of things. And I felt like this is right where God wanted me to be. And then all of a sudden we realized that we were right in the middle of an industrial park. It was not the peaceful move that we thought. It was not just I guess you'd say the grass wasn't greener on the other side. In my mind, I felt like I'd been Godsmacked, is what I kind of said. Hello, Julie, wake up a little bit. You have the thing you need right here and you're searching for more. And so our house never rented. It didn't sell. And eventually I felt God was saying, you are okay to have nice things. It is okay to be in a place of uncomfortability. So we moved back here. Meanwhile, my mom wound up getting sicker and we put her into several assisted living places. We moved her close to me. And the coaching program reshifted itself organically, where we were able to go on a trip to Thailand. So we went to Thailand over December, moved back in this house in January. And my mom passed away in March, early in March. I will say, since her passing and us moving back in, it has been like Jesus has pulled a veil from my eyes to see that a lot of things that either I was raised to believe in, or just like the generational thoughts or patterns, it was like he just pulled this curtain back and just showed me that people like my mom in my life that I thought did not love me or was not there for me, she had a life too. And she did the best that she could, but that she loved me. And so I was able to find just uncovered answers that I've sat with and wondered for a lifetime. And so for the last few months, I've been redesigning the business. I probably have more clients than I've had in the past. Fully surrendered the retreats and what's next. And it's just really been a beautiful discovery of learning me and really learning that it's not about being busy or serving people, but it's truly about just that relationship with Jesus and knowing that I don't have to have a next step. He's got it. And I just got to lean to him. I need to, it's more like praying forward and being present with where I am rather than constantly looking backwards and constantly looking forwards and really just enjoying where I am today. So that's been the journey, but it's really been a lesson that has allowed me to see who I am and that I'm okay.
Powerful.
That's really an amazing gift to be able to have your mother come back into your life like that, and you get to know her and find out she really did love you. Wow.
Yeah, and it wasn't through her words. It was through just finding things like letters that I had written her before I was 8, or finding things after I've been out of her house now since I was 18 years old, and thing was still.
Julie, I had a similar experience with my mom. When she died, the Lord really revealed to me that she loved in the only way that she knew how. And he removed all of the painful memories. Like, they're just gone. I only remember my mom in the beautiful light that God wants me to remember her in. It's such a gift to have that experience with them at the end of their lives.
It is such a gift.
Because I, too, didn't have a good relationship with my mom until she was sick. I'm really happy for you that that was your experience.
Me too. It's like a freedom. I think the biggest thing is it's freedom. I don't have to live in shame. I don't have to be that person. It's a choice, and I just choose to see her for who she is.
So beautiful.
It's having taken care of my mom at the end. I know how hard it is, and how for them and for you with the role reversal, because now you're doing things for them that they did for you, and it's hard for them because they've been so independent for so long, right? Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is that I know that people pray for years. And so to know that the prayer has been, I just want to know my mom. And I didn't get to know her the way I thought, but to have that vision of what would it be like to even have a dream of her to be a part of my life. And I actually got to do that. And so I think a prayer that you carry for so many years, and then all of a sudden it's here. So don't stop praying, because you never know.
Yeah.
What about you two? I know the rest of the world knows what you're up to, but we haven't caught up with you guys in a lot.
Somewhat. I don't know. Both of your updates are like, there's just this common theme of, and I know that Sheri and I would agree in our lives too, probably. There's just this common theme of God showing up and showing us who we really are, and that he is good, and he's going to provide. And even if we are just taking the next step, even if we don't exactly know what that looks like, he's going to guide us in that and even redirect. Like, we can trust him to redirect us if we're getting off course, and he just pulls us right back in and says, no, this is what I have for you. And that to me is so faith building, because I think so many times we get stuck in the place of, well, I don't know what to do next. And sometimes God is just like, just take the next step, or just surrender, or just, it's not anything that we necessarily have to figure it out. but he already has a plan and he's going to let us know every little tiny step of the way. Do you know what I mean? Like he's going to catch us and keep us safe and keep us on the path that he has for us because he sees that's the desire of our heart is to just stay aligned with him and what he has for us. And I don't know, I guess I've just been feeling that a lot lately. Like there's so much that's unsure about the world around us and just about our futures and stuff, and being able to rest in him and know that I'm going to go this direction because I feel like that is what God is saying to me, to go this direction. And I can trust him to redirect me if I got that wrong somehow. Do you know what I mean? That, that just that peace and that faith in the unknown of he's still got me. If I don't do everything perfectly, he's still got me. He knows I'm not perfect and he still wants to walk this journey with me. So yeah, I don't know. It's just, I guess that is what is a big piece that's standing out to me, hearing your updates. And maybe that's just because that's where I'm at, trying to figure out the next thing. So yeah.
Are you still writing your book?
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, that's a hard question, actually, because I'm like, yes, it's still there, but it's not at the forefront of where God has me right now, which is just sort of in this transitional season of preparing us for what he has next. And I feel like we've been in the preparation stage for a long time, and it's sort of like we're like climbing the mountain, and we're getting close to the top, but we're not just like on the other side of it yet. You know what I mean? So I think that's probably why I'm feeling like he's still working on me, still teaching me to trust him and like recognize his provision, his care, and where he's taking me next. And being, like you were saying, Julie, being present right now in this moment and not resenting that it doesn't look like the past and I don't see all the promises of the future yet, but being content with right where he has me and trusting that it's the right place for me. And what I'm learning in this season and the things that are changing. Like there's things that he's removing, things that he's adding. And so it's just like learning to be, I don't know what's the right word, fluid with him, because he changes things so much. It just feels like such a changing season. And you just never know how long that's going to be with God. It might be another 3 years. It might be another 3 days. I don't know. But I'm trying to just be present in the moment with where he has me and not be too stressed about what's coming or what has been. So, yeah, and I think that's right where he wants us, right? Like that's the lesson that he's always trying to teach us, to just be present with him in the moment and what he has us learning from him and receiving from him and what he has us pouring out to others, because we can't do that without him, without resting in him and receiving from him. So, I don't know. We're just in the middle of a lot of things, I guess.
Yeah.
That's good.
Sheri?
That's really good.
I think it's funny what God did. I was out in the community lately. I have not done a lot politically at all. I pulled back away from that after the 2024 election. I really pulled in because I felt God was saying, okay, it's your business time now. It's time to go with your business. And so I haven't even had the desire to get real involved. There's only one group that I'm involved with. And so I pulled way back. And I was out at an event for a friend had invited us because they had the 250 truck, which if you hear about it, you need to go see it because there's only 6 of them and they go all over the country. And if you get inside it, it is like the history of what has happened. And all different organizations have put into this truck. It's an 18-wheeler truck and the side kind of pulls out. And it's all got all kinds of stuff in there, like video stuff and interactive stuff. And it's like overload. It is absolutely overload. You can't do it in an hour or so. I need the Reader's Digest condensed version because I walked through it going, wow.
Like a mobile museum for our country's anniversary. Is that
right.
kind of okay? That's
so
cool.
we were invited. Yeah, so it's really cool. So go and look and see if it comes near you because go see it. It's just really phenomenal. I think it's free wherever. But I was invited, Leigh and I were invited to go to it for a VIP. So it was like when they first opened it here. And so there was a lot of people there politically from our local area. And so I reconnected. I didn't know whether she would even remember who I was, but one of the county commissioners. And we got to talking and I said to her, I want to thank you because I was in the middle of the second 6-week wellness program that I was contracted to teach at the county commissioner's office for their staff. So I taught one last year, and then I got to teach another one. The company reached out to me and asked me if I would do it again, a different topic,
Yeah.
6 weeks. And so I thanked her for that because I was like, it's amazing that you guys offer this. And so we chit-chatted about that a little bit. And then she goes, pretty cool. We got rid of fluoride in our county. I know the state did, but we did it before. And I said, yeah, I said, that was cool. And something about speaking on it. She goes, oh, yeah, I remember. I'm like, oh, God, what all do you remember? Because for that, I was speaking on other things in the county of getting our rights. Then, that weekend, I saw her again. And I've never been to one. We were invited to go to a Kentucky Derby party. So we went. And it was fun. And the race was cool. If you haven't seen it, you need to go watch it because the ending was phenomenal. Okay. It was just very cool. So I see her there again and I chat with her there. And at the first time I saw her, we were talking and she said something about, that they can come to that class or they go to the class to get points, because if they get their blood work done and they don't have good blood work, then they'll get extra points for going to the class. And I said, yeah, I kind of figured that, because some of them said that's why they were in the class. I'm like, I was hoping you wanted to learn something. I hope you do while you're here. She goes, yeah. She goes, my assistant has problems with, she and her husband smoke. And she goes, I know that's probably causing, and I think she was in my class. I wasn't sure which one she was. And she's like, they really need to quit. She goes, and I said, yeah. And I said, I have a book that my mother and my stepmother used, and she and her friends used it, never went back to smoking. And I'll try to remember and I'll tag it in our descriptions so that you guys can find it if you know somebody or you had struggled with smoking. But anyway, it's been years, probably 8, 10 since she's smoked. So she goes, yeah, send that to me, since she gave me her number. And so I told her at the Kentucky Derby party that I did find the book and I'll text it to her. So I waited till Monday because I'm like, that's weird to text her on the weekend. And I figured it was probably a business number anyway. But so I texted her on Monday, gave her the information for the book, told her it was great seeing her, and then just kind of ended it, not a salesy way, but just said, hey, if you know anybody that could use my help, please think of me. And she's like, she sends back and she goes, absolutely, me. And I was like, so I have a county commissioner as a client. And I'm like, that's funny, God. It's real funny. But I love it.
It's so
it
cool.
is amazing. So I just thought it
That's
was
great.
funny. So there's 2 things. I
all
got to teach
networking,
another.
right?
What's that?
It's all about the networking.
It is, and I wasn't really. I don't like to network, but I
I
really
don't
still
like
don't.
social media network, but I love to network in person.
I like meeting people and whatnot. It's awkward sometimes when you don't know anybody or you're like, I don't feel like being here. So, but yeah. So, yeah, no, it is about just getting out and talking to people. You never know who needs your help. But what was also funny, too, is we went back and forth because she grew up in Fort Lauderdale. She goes, I was out on Facebook and LinkedIn, so keep that in mind, looking at your information. And I was like, oh, I haven't posted out there in a while. And so she goes, yeah, I see you're from Fort Lauderdale, so are we. And I thought they're probably transient. They'd moved here. Everybody says they're from Florida, even though they just moved here. But no, she and her husband both grew up in Fort Lauderdale. Her husband went to the same high school I went to, and so did her mother.
Wow.
So it was crazy. But yeah, so that's what, small world.
That's
Yeah.
really good. Small world. And what an impact. It just makes me think you're dealing with the state of Florida. And so what an impact that will make, even through laws and legislation and changes and healthcare reform. Like it's
Hopefully. Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah. So who knows what it'll turn into, but yeah, so it's exciting.
It's so neat.
I know. I was excited. I was very unexpected. So
Yeah.
that's why I just thought the irony of it was so funny.
It's amazing and
Yeah.
fun to see how God opens doors
Absolutely.
for us to move things forward. Yeah.
Yeah. And,
It's quite the adventure. Yes.
And when you least expect it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And God was good because we just got back from the Keys on a vacation, which was phenomenal. We hadn't been there in, I figured out, probably since the last time we went there with my dad. And he's been passed away since, I think, 2018. And
Yeah.
because of hurricanes, because of not being able to find anything. But we came back this past Saturday, and on Monday, our air conditioner went out. And I'm like, and it's still out right now. So if you see wind blowing, I have a fan. I'm like, oh my gosh, glad you can't smell me. But thank God that it didn't go out while we were gone, because to come home to that would have been horrible. Now we just deal with it now. And there's one air conditioner. We're having to buy a new one. But on the other side of that too, God made that air conditioner last 24 years. Yeah.
Wow. That's a
So
long time.
it's past time. But
Yes, 20-something years. Hey, that was a good one.
so they're,
Yeah, in Florida, you're lucky if you get them to last
I
3
know.
years, it seems.
Yeah. So Tuesday, maybe Monday. So prayers for Monday. But yeah, we'll be getting a new air conditioner. So that'll be good. Our electric bill hopefully will go down.
Yeah, I hope so. They're supposed to be more efficient now, so that'd be good.
That's what they're telling us. So we're hoping. They're not cheap.
And Freon free too, I think, right? No Freon
No, there's still
anymore.
Freon. There's different types. Like the
Or
one we have,
is there?
they don't
Okay.
sell anymore. They can still get it, but it's like $125 a pound. And I said, how many pounds do we have? And they're like, 10. And I'm like,
Wow.
great. So
Wow.
I would have to, we could have fixed it, but it would have been like $900 because of the Freon and everything. So we're like, might as well apply that to a new system, because we don't even know how long that'll carry us for. We're
Wow.
getting ready to get really hot now.
Getting into the hot months, yeah. Good thing you're getting it fixed now before it's, super hot out.
Yeah, because it's hotter in the house right now than it is outside.
No, that's the
Right.
worst.
Oh,
Aw.
yeah, but so
The company we went with said they would bring us 2 portable ACs, so that we bought one on Monday or Tuesday night, because we were like, we can't go through another night without AC trying to sleep.
Yeah.
And our dog, poor dog.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we have 3 of
Wow.
them running in the primary room. So advance.
That is one of the benefits of the area of California that I live in, is we have May gray and June gloom. So this is like our cold months. We had a really warm winter, and now it's cold.
Oh wow.
Just
Wow.
so weird. Yeah. We had a weirdly
you-
warm winter in the Midwest also.
Did
With, like
you?
no snow. It was weird.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
and we were freezing
Mm.
multiple times. So
It's-
probably you were too, Julie, up in the Panhandle.
Yeah, my flowers are all blooming like 3 weeks early this year.
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
lots of
It's kind of weird.
flower blooms through the winter months here, because it just got up into the 80s several times.
Yeah, ants were like
Yeah, it
all
was weird.
confused.
Yeah.
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 But we're
we
finally
live in
getting
confusion.
rain now, so we're not in a drought
Oh,
as
good.
much anymore.
good.
So
That's good. Yeah, because we're in like
Us too.
a burn. You can't burn trash or burn anything, so we're not allowed to.
Yeah.
Which I just found out yesterday. I didn't know, but
we've been on a burn ban for a long time in Nebraska too, because everything's been
Right.
crunchy.
to dry. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's where we are now.
The last few weeks we've got some rain and stuff, so it's good. It's weird though, whenever we have cloudy days, because we have sunshine every day. Like, we're one of the states that have the most sunshine. So whenever it's cloudy, I'm like, it's weird. It's a weird feeling. I'm like, this isn't normal.
Everybody in California, all my friends that are from here, they just get so frustrated with me because I get excited for some cloud coverage. It's the same. It's so sunny here all the time. And even on the days we get cloud coverage, it burns off by noon. And so then it's sunny, and I enjoy the clouds. We got rain last night. I was so excited, but it was only for 8 minutes.
That's most of the time. It's very short. Yeah,
my
it
gosh.
just kind
Quick.
of blows through real quick. The wind, there's so much wind out here and you're right to the coast too, so you have all that breeze from the ocean too. Yeah, so it doesn't stay long. Everything blows away.
And here it
Oh,
just rains
gosh.
until it floods.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just starts pouring down. But
We'll get some of that too. It's very weird. Yeah. Because of all the freezing weather we had here, we lost a lot of plants. So in Central Florida, because of all the freezing that we're not used to. Yeah. So we've been still cleaning up the different plants in the yard.
Aw,
Yeah.
it's sad.
I know.
We didn't lose any to freezing. We lost some to drought. Unfortunately.
Bree, did you do any international traveling this year, in the last year?
Yeah. We went to Canada. We went all the way across Canada for our anniversary on a train trip and stuff. We went from Vancouver, BC, all the way over to Montreal. We
I'm
stayed
trying to
in.
plan the train trip for Tyler's birthday this
Yeah.
year.
It's really cool. The one across Canada is beautiful. I don't remember what it's called, but it was amazing. So you go through the Rocky Mountain, like the Canadian Rockies. Obviously, you go through there and stuff. So it was beautiful with all the snow and everything. We went in February and stayed in an ice castle, one of my husband's bucket list items. So I'm glad we've checked that off the list to never do again.
Don't have to do
So-
it again.
0 stars. Would not recommend, ladies.
What was his rating on it? What was Sam's rating?
Pretty close. Pretty close.
Sounds
Yeah.
cooler than it is.
So it was
too
like
funny.
staying in a giant ice tent in negative degree weather. So yeah, it was very interesting. But we only did that for one night. So we stayed at a lovely hotel. It was beautiful. Like everything else was beautiful. And it was just kind of one of those like it was a weird, interesting thing to do. They even had cups made out of ice that you like drink out of, which is the furniture was made out of ice. Like it was very interesting. But cold is not really my jam.
Huh.
Like I would pick a beach vacation. He picks like Alaska, Canada, Montreal, like those kind of things. I'm like, okay. He's like, next we need to go to Antarctica. And I'm like, or not. What if we just went south? You know, I haven't been to the Florida Keys yet. That sounds like a good option.
Well, let us know when you want to go, Breanne. We'll go with you.
Perfect. Drag all of you with me to the Florida
There you go.
Keys.
Yeah.
That's right.
That would be fun.
Yes.
I've
Yeah,
never
all
been
you
to the
ladies
Keys
back
there.
either. I'd love to go.
Yeah, I know. I've never been either. The long highway and everything. Where did you go in the Keys, Sheri?
We were in Marathon, which is the island at the head of that 7-mile bridge.
Fun.
So we did go under the bridge with the boat. We took our boat, which is it's a 15-foot boat that has been in our family since I think 1978, because that's what it is, how old it is. We bought it from my dad. So yeah, we got it working, and yeah. So we did go under the bridge, and that's kind of cool. But yeah,
That's awesome.
it's very pretty, but I think, Julie, have you been to the Keys? Okay. So you know. How are the beaches in the Keys, Julie?
They're just crystal clear, but though it's different than it is here. It didn't seem like there was so many waves
like
there. It was more
bathwater.
like a
But also,
Like
there
bathwater.
aren't many beaches. There are not many beaches.
there's not
and
yeah, no, it's just water.
that
Like you
was,
step out into the
my
water.
brother-in-law was highly disappointed because he thought he was like going to Hawaii or something with the big, beautiful beaches, and it's not what it is. Not
Oh.
like, no, yeah. So it's not, you're not going for the beaches.
You're just going for the clear, warm water.
Yeah.
The
The
culture.
culture is very different, but it was interesting. It was, I would say, somewhat conservative also in the one area we were, but I think if we went further south, maybe not in the Key West. But yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of a mix.
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Just
Kind of like just it's hard to explain, I think, what Key West is. I think you have to
experience
just
it. Yeah,
go and
it is an experience.
experience
It
it.
all depends on who's down there when you go, but there's a lot of interesting things to see and do in the Keys also.
I know Tyler lived in Fort Lauderdale for a short time when he was a kid, and he's been down there. I have super strong memories of it, but he does remember going.
Probably it was a long drive.
Probably.
Yeah, it is. It was a good
Mm-hmm.
5.5 to 6 hours for us, and we took our dogs. She's probably 70 to 75 pounds, so
Right.
she had a blast. So
Yeah.
she got to go to the dog beach every day and out in the boat, so that was yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So only we can hear you typing.
I know.
Oh.
I'm like, okay, that's good. That's all right.
Yeah. What else is going on with you ladies?
Not much. Trying to figure out. So I'm just in the middle of prayer and waiting. And I loved what Julie said earlier about being in the present. That's the one thing about the way that my life is structured currently is this. Because when I go into the coffee shop, I have to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I'm getting up at 5, having a cup of coffee, but I'm not getting my devotion time in, which I love starting my day in the Word. So that's a big prayer for me. Tyler would love for me to have another full-time job or for the bakery to take off enough so that can be full-time for us or for me, because I'm gone a lot. And we've been together for 10 years as a couple, and I worked out of the house for a short time in Alaska, but for the most part, I've been at home all the time. And my schedule is really sporadic because I worked for PRC when they need me, which right now is a lot. And then I work at the coffee shop when they need me, which varies, but it's like being a teenager again. I never know from week to week what my schedule is going to look like. And it's really a big pain. And I'm really trying to rest in the spirit of the Lord, knowing that He's providing for us right now. And this is something that we prayed really hard for. But I've also applied for a job in sales at the Christian Bible curriculum company that he works for. And one of my dearest friends here is the CFO for that company, which is how he got his job. But they don't need a sales rep right now because it's summer. So they don't know if they're going to hire somebody. They had a position available and then they closed it as it got closer in May, which is right around the time I submitted a resume. And so she said she doesn't know what they're going to do in the fall, if they're going to open that position back up and hire, or if they're just going to let the ladies that are currently in sales cover that area. So it's in the Lord's hands. And then the other company that Tyler works for is a secular company, but they're great people, absolutely great people. And they need sales. They need someone to do sales. And that one would also be a remote job. So that's on Tyler if he wants to pursue that, because I don't know them. I've never met them. So he would have to talk to them first. And I'm just leaving that into his hands. Other than that, I'm not really looking for anything, but I'm just waiting to see what the Lord's going to do. I'm trying not to, because every time I get in my own will, I make huge mistakes, and then the Lord has to correct me. And I don't want to be humbled like that again. It hurt. So that's why we were in such financial disarray, because I stopped working in my career and we lived on a loan for 9 months that totally destroyed us. So never again. It would.
That's the hard part, too. The financial part, and you're listening to God. What do we do? Leigh Ann, I tell you what comes to my mind, if you don't mind me sharing. But you remember when I first started talking about losing my job and cleaning houses and paddleboarding? And I look back today, and I think that was probably one of the best times in my life. It's like I had the most time. I had everything that I needed in the moment, but I kept looking to the future and borrowing the future so much that I didn't enjoy what I had, as far as not being so busy or not having so much on my plate. So it just felt like I didn't utilize my time. And that's what, I don't know. I wonder if it's just a common thing for people in general to keep looking or keep wondering or keep seeking, and rather than just sitting right where
It's
we are.
totally
It's
tough. And that's what I'm really trying to do. But I don't like having to get in my car and leave all the time.
Yeah.
So the other piece of that is when I'm already out working, I'm meeting with people on the other side of those jobs, right? So I'm gone all the time. And then Tyler, with his 2 jobs, he's on Zoom meetings. He literally will be on the phone 4 to 5 hours a day. And then he's got to finish up his work. And so he's working about 50 to 60 hours a week and still trying to finish his degree, which this is his last semester. So, so we're in the thick of it right now, and we just miss each other because we're that gooey couple that loves to be together, and we're not together that much.
Girl, I totally understand. My husband's business is shifting and changing a lot right now, and he's gone all the time, 24/7. And if he's not gone, he's working on work stuff. Yeah. And so it's really difficult. God has had to shift me and be like, hey, lady, guess what? I'm right here. You don't need your husband for everything. I'm right here. Like, he keeps being like, I'm right here. I'm with you. You can do things on your own. And I'm like, I don't like it. He's like, hey, you can go to the gym by yourself. You can do podcasts by yourself. You can work by yourself. You can pray by, because guess what? You're not by yourself. And I'm like, I know, you're right. So I'm in this like a weird season of like learning to be more independent, but also dependent, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like more independent from my husband, my kids, like everything that was before, and more dependent on God, and being okay with stepping out and doing things with just him, and not being surrounded by a support system, people, family, like doing more things with friends, doing, things by myself, and going places, like just with my, like traveling by myself, like just, he just had me in this very different season of just being more dependent on him, and allowing him to take up more space in my life. So it's hard, but it's good. Like, he's been opening a lot of doors and just shifting and changing a lot of things in a lot of ways in just our personal lives and stuff. And so which is why I don't have a lot to report, like business wise, but he's making room for that. You know what I mean? So just trusting that he's making room for that, and we'll get there when we're meant to get there, you know? Yeah.
And he's running for office too.
Yeah.
Cool. He was always on the city council, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's running for mayor now. The current mayor is stepping
he?
down, and
Yeah.
so yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I know I've been going to all
Wow.
of the meetings and stuff, and
you.
praying with him, and yeah, got a lot of things going.
It's very
Interesting.
That's incredible.
And you guys have been really consistent with your podcasting. I see new podcasts coming out all the time.
Yeah.
Every
We
other week.
it's this one every 2 weeks. Yes, we've been consistent. Hallelujah, that God has been on top of that, because it's been difficult without your ladies' help. But that's just all God making room for that. And so, you asked about the book, and God had me on that track writing that for a long time, but he shifted me a year ago to writing with him specifically, which is when he had me launch the Whispers of the Father's Heart podcast. And so I've been doing that every day for over a year. I think I'm on like 320 episodes or something now. Crazy. Which I thought, like, when he told me that it was going to be every day, well, except for Sundays, obviously, I was like, I don't think I can do I don't think I can be where you're wanting me to be there. Like, I am not consistent with anything. Like, do you know? Like, and he was like, hold up. Like, it's me. I'm going to make room and space in your life, and there's going to be time for it. And he always has made time, had me have the time to spend with him to write and record those. And so that's been a huge shift, and just having the faith to do that with him every single day and be consistent. That is a huge change for me.
So are you recording every day, or do you do a week at a time?
I do a few days at a time usually. So yeah, sometimes it's every day if I only have time to get one episode written and recorded. But generally I do a few at a time. So I record usually twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week for that. And then our other podcast, Sam actually had to step away from a few months ago because things are just, like I said, there's a lot going on in our personal lives and stuff. And I've been doing a new study with a couple of my friends here and recording some episodes just by myself, which was a huge leap of faith. That was really hard for me to take that step of doing things by myself. But God's just stretching and growing me in that area. And so we'll see where that goes. But for sure, I think it's going to be the two of us back on there once some things kind of get sorted and settled down, probably in the fall. So yeah, but it's been really good. And it's fun to see God showing up and just consistently and directing us. So it hasn't been every single week like we used to do, because this study has been really intense to get through, because we're doing one on shame. And so there's been a lot to learn and a lot that God's walking us through between those episodes. And so, but we're still doing it, still getting them out there. It's good.
And we're going to link all of Bree's other podcasts out there too, so that you can find her. Yeah. Because what is it? Whispers of the Father's Heart? Did I say that right?
That's the one that he writes with me every day. Yep.
Yeah. So it's just a bite-sized little tiny nugget, like a couple minutes.
Yep.
Each one, so you can fit that in your day.
Super simple daily encouragement. Just get you started with your connection with God and His heart for you. It's really been beautiful and fun to do with them. So
I think it's incredible being with y'all
lot.
today. It has been so good to
really
see you. I miss y'all so much. And I'm just really proud at how y'all have just stayed with it and you keep buckling down. And I'm so excited to see what Jesus does and who is on your show. And that's
We've
incredible.
had some amazing guests, really.
What an honor.
So if you haven't seen them, go back and watch them. You ladies, but also anybody else, because there's been some really, it's a just very diverse group of people that we've had come on, all ladies, sharing their stories, things that they're doing.
A lot of power and testimonies.
yeah, it's just it's amazing, and we love having you ladies back on.
And a pleasure.
The heart of our show and inspiration for so many years, and just where God is taking us, just continually sharing our stories and His testimonies of how He shows up in our lives, and just the encouragement. And today is just another great example of that. seeing God work and lead in our lives, and just, yeah, how much he loves us, and he always has a great plan. It's beautiful.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Thank
And
you
I'm
for coming
sure
back
we'll
and sharing an update.
Yes, absolutely.
I love it. I got an unknown error. I'm on brave. Oh. Progressive upload for Descript means it means that you're uploading in the background immediately. So by the time you're done editing, the upload is mostly or fully complete. It's much faster to publish or export. It's a good thing. I was trying to remember. I was actually going to go back to our old podcast and see when the last time was that we all podcasted together, but I thought it had been about a year. Wow. Oh. Yes. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to pop over on Google too, just to see if that fixes it.